All right, welcome back to the final segment of Vet Sequence and hearing my brother Michael, the rest of his story. Or we heard his story where we know where he's at now. He has a child, different job out of the ICU, still has the wife, and is on to bigger and better things. Now, I just wanted to close this episode out with some memories and stuff like that. And thinking about because I do use music as a drug. I have throughout my whole life, and
Oh yeah.
one of the earliest songs that I remember me and you listening to was 45 by Shinedown.
Oh yeah. That was a good
And
one.
and we would sing it out loud in the car all the time. And then it wasn't until I was older and listening to the lyrics, it's just like, what in the fuck were we listening to?
Yeah.
So
It was about
depressing. So much death and
suicide.
suicide and something on some deep level, I think because we did listen to emotional music, that it kind of set us up for later in life because we got to feel these emotions through this music, but
Oh yeah.
we never understood it, but it kind of built the foundation for life, I guess, or that for the troubles that we were about to go through.
It's kind of like
Well
pumped
that
up
and
kicks. It's such a cheery song, but it's about shooting up a school.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's so crazy. Well, and like thankfully Addie and I grew up in a metalhead house, so we
Oh yeah.
mom and dad infused rock and roll into our veins from a young age. So
What was your first CD that you purchased?
Van Halen 1984.
Van Halen. That was the one with Jump on it, wasn't it? Or
Yep.
Panama?
Yep. Jump
Jump
at, I
in.
think they might have been, but because I got the best of Van Halen right after that, so I would get those two confused.
Which one was the one with the baby angel on the front? Was that
1984.
was 1984?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good CD.
It's a really good CD.
And then I think my first CD was Alice Cooper, Hey Stupid. What was yours, Hendrix?
My first city was Pink Floyd.
I,
My
I
first
didn't
CD
hear.
was my first CD was actually an LP. It was Pink Floyd The Wall, and I bought it with my own money from mowing the neighbor's lawn for like 3 months.
It's
Greatest.
awesome.
I still have it somewhere in
That's
storage.
it's a good album.
Talking about saving up money. This is how me and Michael differ a lot. Is we had a paper route when we were younger, making peanuts, delivering papers in the morning, and Michael scrounged away his money to buy a Spitfire, or was it Spitfire?
It was World Industries. I can't
World
remember.
Industry.
Yes, it was a skateboard.
It was a skateboard, like high grade skateboard with the wheels and the bearings and everything. And I just blew my money on shit. Like the when you go to check out at a, at a gas station or something, you see like the cool lighters and stuff. Yeah, that's shit that I bought.
Well, actually, I think a little bit of that money came from that, but I worked at Freddie's place that
That's
summer. That's where I
right.
got the most money from.
That's
I
right.
kind of worked kind of there, and then when I got enough money for the skateboard, I like kind of called it
Meh,
in after that.
meh.
But I was like 13 or 14, I think.
And we've always been fortunate to where we got something around us that we're like a bro magnet, me and you. We've always hung out with
Because we are
bros and
bros.
well, we are bros, bro science, bro
Yeah.
life. And
Yeah.
one of the coolest bros I ever met was the bro from college. That
Yep.
My first year of college, I think it was a economics class or some shit like that. And this dude, he was like, "Hey, you want to come over and study, bro?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro, let's study." I get over there, he's got a fucking 30 rack of natty ice, and we just start fucking drinking. And Michael comes and picks me up like 2 hours later, and I'm just shit faced, drunk, didn't learn anything.
Well, and the funny thing is like we were into Bullet for My well, this was before like Bullet for My Valentine, and he's like, check this out. And like he played
Oh
like
yeah.
one of the Bullet for My Valentine songs. He was like headbanging and just trash. And it was
Oh,
hilarious. I'll
this
never forget that.
that bro metal.
Sounds
I
like a
loved it.
college town.
Still,
Like what that
oh,
was? It was Laramie, Wyoming. It was amazing.
it was a good town.
Good
Holds a special
town.
place.
Yeah. Uh, awesome thing about that place was the cigar and pipe tobacco shop that we would walk
That lady,
to.
lady was legit.
That was so awesome. I've never thought I'd like pipe tobacco, but I am a lifelong fan. I love that
Yeah, I'm
shit.
see, and I'll do that like once a year, despite Katie's best efforts. But once every year or once every year and a half, I just got to do a little bit of pipe tobacco. And it tastes so good.
See, I wouldn't be able to do it only once a year because then my tobacco pipe would turn into my weed pipe. So I don't think that do so well. But when we were younger, we had the group of friends that I was telling you about, the five of us. Um, I would give everybody haircuts, and
Oh yeah.
and we would me and one of the friends, Joe, we would get super stoned, and then we do haircuts out back. And Michael goes to sit down, and he's like, "Hey, don't cut my hair too short." I
I was
was like,
like, it's a
"Okay."
2. At the time, it was a 2. I was like, it's a 2. Keep the blade, keep the protector on there. Do not take it off.
Well, I took it off. I went down to skin. Yeah, that was funny.
I was just like, but little did I know that's what I use now. So
Well, that's what we're all three are gonna eventually get to, because
yep, yep.
Well,
You
I have a
joined
cone head. I have an egg head, and it just looks weird. It's like goes up and then straight back down, and it just doesn't look good.
but but with you, it's the five head. You just gotta shave it, bro. Your five head would go away if you shaved it. Oh, dude,
bam,
that's a
gone.
7 head. No, that's a 6 head, dude.
If you go over here, it's like an 8 head.
Fuck you, male pattern baldness.
Yeah, right. Lost that game.
uh, that I'm fucking super jealous of your beard. You can grow a gnarly beard, and I still get patches. Like,
Thanks to COVID, stupid COVID, have to wear a mask.
well,
Well, I mean, you can wear the big helmets, but those things hurt your neck after a while because it's
I
just
bet.
I'm not used to wearing a big helmet all day.
Probably had to put strain on your shoulders holding it up all day.
Oh yeah, I would come home at night and my neck would be like really sore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he was talking earlier about riding bikes, there was a place that was about 20-minute bike ride from our house called OJ's that would make their own fried chicken and
Yep.
burritos and stuff like that and make homemade ranch. And we would drive there with $5 and come back with just like two grocery sacks full of just junk food.
It was
And then
awesome.
we'd go back home and put on
Half baked.
half baked and just munch out. And we didn't know what the fuck that shit meant or anything, but it was funny as shit. We did it religiously. It was like every
Yep.
2 weeks.
It was really fun.
Going down to the desert and hitting the whoop-de-doos.
Look
what
at
those
chasing
are?
down lizards.
A whoop-de-doo are the dirt jumps that are like this, but they're like super close together.
I can't
Are you
remember
talking
the
about
exact.
dunes?
There you go. Whatever. Wyoming.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, Wyoming. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there other questions you had about like childhood or stuff like that we wanted to talk about? I can't remember.
Well, yeah. If you are now you can see past your past, meaning you can see clear into the future, and when you meet these people, you don't hold judgments like we used to against people.
Mhm.
And when you hear these stories of your co-workers or something about how they grew up or about how their family is, how does that make you feel about your family and how we grew up?
I feel like yeah, maybe the emotion side wasn't there. Like I know that. Like growing up, like it was like, mom had a lot of emotions growing up. She had a lot. Dad didn't have very many, but I was just talking to someone this earlier. At the end of the day, they were there for us for everything, and I love that about them. And they stayed together. They worked. They showed me that like bad stuff could happen in your marriage, and you could stay together and work through it.
Yeah.
And Dad sacrificed his time to make sure that we started off better than the generation before.
He sacrificed his life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Working at the mines, and like, yeah, maybe he, emotionally, like, I wish he would talk to me more, like in that kind of way. But I mean, we still talk, which I love. But like, I know he did his best the way he knew how to make sure that we could succeed.
Yes.
And I'm forever grateful for him. for doing that. And mom was able to stay at home and raise us. Like, how many kids had a mom that was able to stay at home? That's not very common. And I feel very fortunate, actually. I feel very fortunate from the house I came from. I mean, it's not perfect. We have our issues in our family, just like anyone else, but yeah, I feel very fortunate.
Okay, now we both, yeah, we did come from a very strong family, and that's the thing that I really miss now is how we grew up with everybody, the Hafners, the Bosners, and everybody in between, Wisniewski's. It's when we had birthday parties, we had the whole family there. It was everybody, and that's
Whether you wanted to be there or not.
exactly. But that's what kind of hurts me about being here and so far away in Germany is I can't give that to my kids here.
Except the German side, right? You got the German family.
I mean, not even the German family are willing to sacrifice the time because whatever's more important, anyways.
Yeah.
But it makes me sad that I can't give that to my kids because it was such a rare experience to grow up with everybody like that around all the time.
It's because of German indoctrination. Work is work, nothing else.
Yeah. That is true. I mean, the Germans, they do have a mindset from young on that you go to school, you work, and then you die. Like, that's one of the things that, like, there's no dream over here. There's none. No sort of dream. Like, they say American dream, whatever, but there's no dream here. It's just, I got to do my school. Like, this is their life's laid out. Like, they're born and they're like, okay, I never have to worry about anything because we do live in a socialistic society. So that if we ever need money, we can have our health care paid for and stuff like that. State will help out with other stuff. But having that safety net at the same time kind of like took the motivation out of the people and like kind of killed off that dream because they're so comfortable. Comfort is the deadly killer here. It's because people are so afraid to take a step into the dark, into something new because they're comfortable, It's just it's a weird perspective to have over here or seeing it from our eyes.
Yeah, I bet it's very different to take a look from coming from a very capitalistic society to Germany.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
I got so used to being like, the American buddies that look, what are you doing on the weekend? Oh, we're going to go party, drink, we're going to go have fun, visit places. And then I literally, when I got off work yesterday, I was like, hey, what are you doing? It's going to be Sunday tomorrow. Oh, I'm going to go do more studies. What are you doing at night? Studies. What are you doing Monday morning? Studies, and then work. So they don't really know how to have fun over here. I mean, when they do actually go out and party, they do party, but
they party.
Like your wedding was a fun wedding. Like it was awesome. All day. That was all day.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Germans have a really cool wedding ceremony. I really appreciated that a lot.
Because I was a best man at a German friend's wedding, and they showed me a tradition that I never saw, and they took a gigantic white bed sheet, and they drew a gigantic heart in it, and it was Mario and the princess together in there, and the man and the wife had to start at the bottom of the heart, and whoever cut out their side first would have to be carried through the heart. Like the people hold up the sheet, and it's their first. It symbolizes their first step. Yeah, their first step into marriage, and it's really cool tradition and idea.
I got to see that with my ex's cousin because I was forced to go to their wedding, and they actually did that.
It's just like that, and when me and Joe cut the log for the first time, like I found that very strange that there's a piece of log or a piece of wood just sitting here that I have to saw on my wedding day in a nice suit. But it's super cool. Like the symbolism behind it. It's the first time you work together as a couple. You have a hard task of sawing with that shitty hand saw through a gigantic piece of wood. That was really cool.
That and then when we took Joe to the
little bar.
To the bar, and you had to buy everyone a drink to get her.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was super cool.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
In Joe's family tradition, they take the bride away and they hide her in somewhere where the husband or the groom is supposed to know where. Well, they took Joe and hit her in this bar that Joe's mom was always at and had good times at, and I found her, and they made me buy a shot for everybody on my wedding.
Yeah.
That was super cool, super
That was
cool.
really cool. It was a good day. That was a really good day. Really
Great
enjoyed that
day.
day.
I wish I had contact with the best men, all the wrench rebels out there. I miss them
That was a
dudes.
good day. They were good guys.
Good dudes. Yeah, Mendoza, Little, all them.
A lot of
Jake.
good guys.
Yeah,
You know, I'm not really
that's fine. Yeah. So, is there when you think back to our childhood, what was like one of the highlights, do you think? If you could pick out maybe one or two of like memories, what do you
There was
think was the best thing for us?
I really the best thing for us. I really appreciated the hunting. Looking back, like I really appreciated getting outside. Like I think that was the way for like grandpa and dad to get us outside. And just show us the outdoors. Even when we were little, we were like, whatever. But like looking back, like that's cool things. Like even when I talk to people here and tell them about like we go and shoot the animal, we process it, all that stuff. They're like, that's so neat that you do that, and having a cabin to go to, like that was super cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think having parents from different backgrounds was kind of neat too. Because mom was from a city and dad was from Wyoming, and that was always kind of neat too, I thought.
Yeah.
Let me think. Any other neat things? Yeah, I think kind of what we talked about the bikes, like being the ability to just go out and play,
Mhm.
and it wasn't a big deal. Like we just would come home in the afternoon. I think that was a lot more unique than I thought.
Well, we were one of the last generations of the outdoor kids, We were the ones that
Yeah,
would go outside all day, and then we knew when street lights came on, it was time to get the fuck home,
yeah. Or play hide and seek on
Or
certain
play,
nights.
yeah. What did we call that when we ran away from cars?
I don't
I
remember.
can't
We just hide
remember.
from cars.
And we would get
But
so worked up about it. We thought we were
it
so
was so
cool.
fun. It was so fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. I think the freedom that we had to just play around was super neat and unique, and I really liked that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I think that'll be it for this episode. So thank you for sharing your story. I am excited to have you again on here in the future. Give us
Yeah,
a
that
little
was fun.
mental health update on your new job and how your brain is handling it and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
thank you for being on. Thank you for being our first supporter that you spent your money to give us a year subscription of Zoom so that we can continue a podcast from across the world. It's fucking
yeah,
awesome.
no problem.
And
No time limits.
and thanks for always being there for me, even though you might not have known what I was going through or what was in my head.
Same.
You were always there, and I love you.
Love you too. Well, thanks for having me on, and yeah, it's fun to watch this. I love this stuff. So keep going, guys.
You. All right. I love you.
Love you. Take care.
All right. Bye.